We're doing some time traveling today. We are going way back in the Wayback Machine to 2017. In fact, September 2017, when I first discovered bullet journaling. Yes, it has been a while since my very first journal here. We're gonna flip through this today. I have not looked at it in forever. I thought it might be interesting to share my starting point because I quite often get comments from people who are interested in bullet journaling who say, I'd love my journal to look like yours, but it's nowhere near. And I'm like, well, yeah, I've been practicing, my friends. This is not my first rodeo. Hello, in case you're new here, my name is Erin. I make bullet journal and stationery content on this here channel, and I've been doing it for a while. So I have several years worth of bullet journal setups on my channel that you can go and watch if you want an example of what my work looks like. But today we're looking at my very first forays into journaling, and I did not have a channel at this point. I was literally just using this for my own organization and keeping stuff straight in my own life. So when I set this up, I don't think I thought anyone but me would ever see it. Here we are. A couple of quick disclaimers before we start flipping through this journal. First of all, no, you don't need to make any kind of journal or planner that you use look pretty for it to be valid. You can just use it without any decoration, and that is absolutely fine. For some of us, myself especially included here, if it's not pretty, we're not gonna use it. The pretty is what brings you back and gets you picking it up. And also it's fun. So there's that. I'm not trying to say here that I think my bullet journal layouts of today are like particularly incredible or better than anyone else's. I just think that they're better than where I started, and I wanted to show that progress is possible with consistency. I also think it's worth mentioning that bullet journaling or creative bullet journaling, because what I do is quite far from the original bullet journal method, is not necessarily for everyone. And maybe sometimes if you try it and it's not working for you, it just means that it's the wrong planning system for you, and that is okay too. Like, there are ways to add decoration and pretty to other planning styles as well to still have fun with that creative side, but also make sure that your plan is working for you. So I also thought it might be interesting to give you a bit of backstory about how I got into bullet journaling in the first place. I was watching a lot of content at the time from an Australian YouTuber called Rachel Ost, and she was making bullet journaling content a little bit in her stuff, and she was literally just using one pen and a Leuchtturm journal, and so that was where I started as well. I did not amass the collection of stationery that I have now quickly. It took me several years to be like, maybe I do need a bunch of stickers. Maybe I do like scrapbooking paper. I don't think I got into that for like 2 or 3 years. I was just like, let's do pens, and if I want decoration, I'll draw it. We could not be further from that right now. This is looking a little sparse. Let me just make this a little prettier for your viewing experience here. And I'm 36, so I need these too. Okay, let's begin. So this is a Leuchtturm 1917. Oh, it's been so long since I've used one of these notebooks, I forgot what the year was. Leuchtturm 1917, it's the white one, it's pretty dirty, and the elastic is fully stretched out, so it doesn't hold the journal closed anymore, so I sort of just don't bother with it. The Leuchtturms also came with stickers, so I've got September 2017 to December 2018, Bullet Journal Volume 1, because that is what I fit into this journal. I fit more than a year and a quarter into my very first journal because I wasn't doing pretty stuff. I may need to block out some personal information as we go through this, I'm not certain, so if there is stuff blacked out, that's why. I'm so nervous. Okay, let's do this. Oh, it was right off the bat, we're blocking out personal information. We have an index at the start here, and I've used it because these journals have numbered pages, only up until the second page there apparently. And then we're getting into my 2017 future log. I have used Copic markers, and I don't know what that black pen is. It might have been one of those calligraphy, like chisel tip calligraphy pens. And I'm pretty sure some of this looks like friction pen, like the erasable friction pen. I used that a lot in the early days because I made a lot of mistakes. You can see the Copic is bleeding through the page. I bought them because I heard people say they were good, not realizing the effect that alcohol markers can have on a journal, especially with, this is like 80 GSM paper, and so there's a lot of ghosting. I actually don't mind it. It's kind of fun. A lot of the stuff at the time here was tracking my social media for my photography business, which I still run, but I'm actually, as of very, very recently, I'm not offering wedding coverage anymore. So a lot of this stuff is very irrelevant to me now. Look, the lettering's not bad. I would have expected it to be much, much worse than it is. I remember that I liked the chisel tip, and then I would just turn it on its point to do the smaller, like upstroke stuff. I've always been very interested in handwriting. I started working on mine when I was in year 5, which would have made it 1998. And I would just try and copy my mum's and my grandmother's handwriting. And here we are many years later. My writing looks nothing like theirs, but I am kind of happy with where it is. I've got a habit tracker that you have to turn the book sideways to do. I hate that. I hate doing that. My social media planner, funnily enough, has actually ended up very similar to this, which I would not have expected at all, because I thought I'd come up with that whole layout recently. Apparently I didn't. I don't know if I got this from someone else or if I just put it together like that. Dailies with a water tracker. Wow. A gratitude log. So clearly I had seen some people's YouTube videos about bullet journaling besides Rachel's when I started. Wow, I was using the heck out of this journal. And I'm trying out some different weekly layouts here apparently. How very interesting. This must be my very first ever quote page. Oh, Spencer Lum. Wow. I think I decided from this that I didn't like adding quote pages, which is funny because I add them all the time now. Okay, we got some washi tape coming in here in October. I'm pretty sure this washi tape I'd bought when I was in Japan. And I think I was just using it on my packaging. I just realized there's cat hair on my desk. I'm so sorry. I think I was using the washi tape on my packaging. I would like put it on the boxes for my clients' albums and stuff like that. And other people were using it. And I liked the idea of adding some washi tape to the first page of a monthly setup so I could find them easily. So I think if I were to close the book, yeah, you can kind of see. Doesn't really stand out that well because I've used the same washis all the way through because that's all I had, but look at the size of these calendar boxes, they're massive. The pages seem to have yellowed a little bit too, which I think is really adding to the whole flashback, this is a very old journal thing. Also want to point out, I started in September, I was too excited, I was like, there's no way we're waiting for a new year to make this happen. We're doing this now, and we did. And I'm really proud of past me for that because you got to do it when you're excited about it. Same thing with if you have an idea for a theme for an upcoming month, you got to do it while it's fun and exciting, because otherwise the shine wears off, or it can. Check out how many days I'm fitting on a weekly here. 12 days. Wowee, Saturday the 7th to Wednesday the 18th. Oh, I must have liked this setup because I'm doing it again. Halloween. Oh, right, I was planning stuff for my K-pop dance group. We used to have a Halloween party, which I insisted we do every year because I just love Halloween so much. Gonna spend it overseas this year in a place where it's actually autumn. That's gonna be fun. Planning out some website stuff here too. Planning some trips. I really was just doing the whole plan as you go, and the page numbers and the threading kind of system will keep you organized. I've got recipes for things I am certain I have not cooked. Putting together a random play dance for my K-pop group, some performance information, video ideas. What's this about? Oh, right, I was making photography content at the time. I've got like camera reviews and ideas for other camera videos. Very same channel, but I have made all of those videos unlisted. So the videos still exist on my channel. I've just made them sneaky hidden. Got a trip itinerary here for a trip to Malaysia. We're into November. Look, it's not terrible, but does it look like what I do now? No, not remotely. The lettering, especially, I think my regular handwriting honestly hasn't changed very much at all. Wow, that is a lot of habits to track. Oh, I've got them separated into like morning, life, beauty, and meditate is its own category. And I've highlighted them too. Am I still using that same Copic, or is this a different? Doesn't look too bleedy, so this must be a different pen now. I think I got into the Faber-Castell Pitt Artist brush pens pretty early on. I really liked those for a long time. I found them really easy to use, and the Tombos were too expensive. Oh, my lovely John gave me a bunch of stickers, like functional stickers for the calendars, and I was like, what a great idea. I don't know if I could see myself using those now, but at the time, amazing. I am sticking to a theme here though, and my theme is just light pink, dark pink. I respect that for me. Do you know what? That might still be the Copic because that's a pretty wide line, and I think I've just matched them on either side of the page so that they would bleed into each other. You know, when you start to be able to recognize pen colors and say what they are without having to look it up, I'm pretty sure that's the Faber-Castell Pitt Artist brush pen in Pink Madder Lake. Couldn't tell you what the name of the Copic is or the number because I don't use Copics or alcohol markers anymore. Friction color swatches, okay. I'm really getting into my friction pens here. I'm pretty sure all of this, I wonder if it would come off just with my eraser. Yeah, it lightened a little. I'm pretty sure all of my day-to-day writing was done with the erasable friction pens because low pressure. for a bullet journal newbie. Oh, I've got some new washi. I'm pretty sure John gave me this too. It's Christmas, so we'll use stars and tartan. Wow, that tartan check washi tape has really aged. It's so yellow. Tiny habit tracker. This must be because I was traveling, so I've only gone up to the 11th. Condensed stuff. Makes sense. I would still do that. I will still do that in October. When I go traveling, then I'm not gonna set up my journal for the time that I'll be away because I'm not probably gonna take it with me. How pretty. We got some gold gilding in here for the first time ever. We're into 2018. This is my future log. I zipped over that one a bit quickly, didn't I? I like this. I've got birthdays separated out from events in my future log. That's pretty good. Wow, really taken up whole pages with my trackers here. Nothing wrong with that. Also, this must have been one that I used a lot because I have the ribbon bookmark there. Those have held up really well. They look great. The ribbon bookmarks didn't come out of the book, which has happened to me quite a bit since. Oh, look at my really cute little ombre lettering at the top here. The lettering itself is still a little clumsy. It's not terrible, but I love that I've gone for that. I wonder what I used. This actually looks like one of my favorite. Is it the 577 something? It looks like a Tombow. Have I got a Tombow? Like one? I do feel like that was maybe one of the first ones I got. Really enjoying this weekly setup, apparently. Using it a lot. It looks like it's space for events along the middle columns, and I've divided tasks into work, home, and dance things. I like that. Maybe I should bring that back. Absolutely no room for decoration on there though, so I'd have to make it a little shorter and do like some pretty at the top and bottom, or bring it in a little bit maybe and do the pretty down the sides, or bring it out a little and do the pretty in the middle, or just do little pops of pretty. There are so many ways that you can add some decoration to a weekly or to any page if you want. I've crossed this page out and written, please go straight to February. I wonder, is that just because I didn't use it, or was I setting up a weekly that I didn't need? 28th, 29th, 30th, 31st, please go straight to February. Okay. Oh, I'm writing out my skincare routine. Yeah, that tracks. This would be around about the time that I was having a great deal of trouble with my skin and trying to get it under control. We're good now. We're mostly good now. Almond flour blueberry muffins. That sounds great. I bet you I never made it. I don't cook. I don't like cooking. Oh, look, dance formations. And you can see here where I've changed my mind on stuff with the friction pens because it's not fully erased. I love my dance notes. They make sense only to me, I'm certain. I'm just getting lost in these a little bit now. Oh, this was my choreography to Don't Go Home by G-Dragon and Tap. Wow. K-pop Erin. Where did she go? February. What is this color scheme? I hate it. Do you know what? This was pink and white, this chevron washi tape, and it has yellowed to a point where it almost kind of works with the yellow, but I know what it used to look like, and I think my brain is just swapping that out for me so that it's what it originally would have looked like, and I'm like, no, I don't think we want to do that, Erin. Why did you want to do that? Because it's all I had. That's why. That's all the stationery that I had. I would just use it over and over in different combinations. I don't think I especially cared if it looked good. I was just so excited to be bullet journaling, and I took it everywhere with me, clearly with my dance formations. Like, I was taking this to dance practice with me, and I remember I left it once and I freaked out because I was like, what am I gonna do? Here's an interesting one, and I've tabbed it so that I can find it again quickly. This is a skincare product date tracker. I was being really careful because I had a lot of skincare stuff that I was trying out to write down the date that I opened it, how long the shelf life is on the packaging, like how long it tells you can keep it, and when the expiry date would be based on that. So like when I should use it, and I'd cross it out when I'd finished it. Yeah, I don't keep track of any of that stuff anymore because I just use the same products over and over, and I just open them and use them until they run out. So I don't need it. March, social media, we're going purple. Ooh, don't remember this washi tape. It's got little hearts on it. Not really my vibe. Even then, that probably wasn't really my vibe. We're trying some very different layouts here. I'm pretty sure this was a friction highlighter, the purple, which is smart of me, isn't it? Because then I can erase my headings. Although it doesn't look like I've needed to, because you can typically really see that stuff. Over time, it kind of comes back. And I think if it gets cold, the writing comes back. You can kind of like save it if you accidentally erased something, but also if it gets really hot, it might all disappear. What's this? This is a camera event. 1 times new mirrorless, 2 times new DSLRs, 1 times new speed light. 72% of Aussies prefer mirrorless with electronic viewfinder. I think that's most of it now, to be honest. EOS M50. This must have been like a press conference online, maybe. Got a packing list. I used to stay with my parents quite a bit. If I had a wedding that was like closer to them than it is to me, I would go and crash with my parents. So it makes sense that a wedding checklist of packing things included clothes and stuff. Thailand trip research. That's a trip I didn't go on. Haven't been to Thailand. Oh, hello. Erin's stepping up. We got drop shadows. This is definitely the 192 Tombow. I'm pretty sure it's still one of my favorites. Look at this pretty A on the April. I for sure had to look up a reference to work out how to do an A like that, because that's a different one to my usuals. Almost unused social media and video planners here. I was trying to do like once a week photography videos, but that was a lot of work. Not that twice a week journal videos isn't a lot of work, but there's a lot less research involved, you know? Erin draws in notebook, films process, edits process, puts on internet. Much more direct. Don't have to test the camera every time. So this weekly setup is interesting. It's like events on the left side. That says saving? What does that mean? I don't know what that means. Next week column, and then big master to-do list over here. Very interesting. Also, I think I've changed to a little teardrop system to try and work out how much water I'm drinking. Still struggle with that. Probably should have a water tracker, but I don't. Actually, I have a little Garmin smartwatch thing that does that, but I don't keep track with it. Because I don't drink that much water. I drink a lot of tea. I suppose that somewhat counts. Oh, I ran a trivia night for my K-pop dance group and it was so much fun, and I got to be like the ringmaster. I took a top hat and everything, I'm pretty sure. Look at me trying to be cute and creative. Hello, May. Purple and yellow, as though I'm in the Northern Hemisphere. No, May is cold here. Love how I did this 2018 lettering though. That must have been a reference. The May is okay. The 2018, that looks good. Go little me. Go little... How old was I in 2017? Go little 30-year-old me. And I'm getting more creative on like the calendar boxes. I've got a little gap in the top and I've put the number and I've put a little yellow circle around it. Impressive. This stuff is staying pretty similar. That stayed pretty similar for a long time for me actually. I remember this weekly. I just thought it looked so cool that it had like 4 days on one side and 3 days on the other. And there's a separate space for events versus tasks, I think. No, that's an event. I don't know what I was thinking here. Stuff I need to know that I don't have to action? I don't know. This is a very cute weekly. Maybe I should try and bring this one back too. Oh, Rocco and Cora Nikon School Workshop. I remember that. That was fun. Got a little next week bit here. Because it was the end of the month, right? That makes sense. Some pen testing. Fude pen. Pen not light. Pen so light. Tombow test. Go figure. Look, blank page 157, unused, just ghosting. June, we liked that setup clearly. This, I am fairly certain this shiny, skinny blue tape is nail art tape. That's funny. I'm very impressed to see my lettering coming along here. I'm clearly getting the hang of the up, down. The pressure on the pen, like the light up and the heavier down, that takes practice. My best advice if you're wanting to get better at that kind of thing is to just every time you need to write something down, just do it as pretty as you can. Like practice every time you write something, because otherwise you have to sit down and be like, I'm gonna do my lettering practice now. And that's not necessarily fun. Like it's productive. By all means, it's a fast way to get good at writing prettily. But if you just put yourself in situations where you have to write, like maybe you stop taking notes digitally for a month and you write everything out by hand and you try to make sure that you're writing it out prettily as you go, you'll see that same improvement. You just have to be disciplined about it, because it's very easy to be like, but I need to write quickly. You go fast and then you can't read it anymore. Going green in Brisbane. Composting hubs and kitchen caddy collection. Oh, cool. Is that how long we've had our composting thing? So many dance notes. House overhaul. Still need to do that. I've separated it into start small, medium missions, and giant jobs. Love this, like, alliteration for me. Oh, hello cutie. July's looking quite nice. It's a very warm pink, kind of salmon, whereas this was once a cool tone pink, but now it's yellowed, so it's fine. Gratitude, habit log. Keeping that weekly. We're keeping it because it's working, although I seem to have flipped the events to the left side and the tasks on the right. That makes more sense to me now too. That seems to fit better. I never write over washi tape these days, but apparently I did then. Oh, I remember this one. This yellow. I remember being like, well, I just have to do something different. And I had like stars and gold. And so I was like, well, that's sort of similar to yellow. So I got what yellows I had in, I guess, the kits that my partner had probably bought me by this point of the Faber-Castell Pitt artist brush pens, and went for it. And I remember looking up references. I actually remember this A, like, it changed my life for a while. And I took this to dance, and I remember somebody asking me if yellow was my favorite color, and I was like, not remotely. I just had to do something different. So Dom, if you're watching, I dedicate this layout to you because yellow is your color. Oh my God, I've been doing this weekly lately. Wait, here I thought it was new. I've been calling it like a SWOT analysis weekly, and I was like, what a great new idea that I had. I did it in August of 2018. That's so funny. And I've got the tiny calendar and I've highlighted which week we're on. That looks exactly like a tiny calendar that I would do now. My writing has not changed at all. My like regular everyday handwriting has not changed at all since at least mid 2018. How funny. Oh, I hate the way these pages stick together. What is that? Oh, the sound is bad. Oh, don't know if the microphone would have picked that up. Oh God, yeah. See, you can tell that I'm just itching to do something a bit different here because I've used these cat stickers. They're cats, so they're always gonna be a little cute, right? But they're also puffy. They're those like textured stickers. Ugh. So that means that they make the next page kind of a nightmare because they stick out and they're firm. I like the blue though. I like this like scribbled box situation. That's kind of fun. Someone was doing like watercolor boxes for their calendar and I was like, well, I want to do that, but I don't want to do it in watercolor, or I don't have watercolors. I was very resistant to watercolors for a long time. So I guess that was my workaround and I really like it. Good habits, video plans. We're still doing photography content at this point. I think it was my new journal setup for 2019. I think it was the first bullet journal video I ever posted, and it did way better than I expected it to. And I was like, huh, because I was making only photography content at the time. I was very surprised that anyone watched a bullet journal video on my photography channel. October. We had to make it pink because October is my birthday month, and for some reason pink feels like home to me. It is not my favorite color, but it does feel like home. I don't know how to describe that because that makes it sound like it just is my favorite color, but it's not. Blue is my favorite color. Oh, I like the nail art tape as a divider here in all of these functional spots, although I've also drawn a line here so it looks kind of bad. That's okay. Great habits. Oh, we're getting very motivational here. My lettering's improving. It's not bouncy at all, which is fine. I've never been very good at bouncy lettering. I'm a bit better at it now than I used to be, but like, cute. It looks like teacher writing, which is funny because I've never had any desire to be a teacher. Look at these little pink accents. Did I do that on everyone? I did. Goodness me. Oh, I've got Angela's Dish lyrics on this one. That's kind of, they're an Aussie band that I loved. Very small time. Nobody really has ever heard of them. Aussie band. Soft November rain washes me away. What a great song. Halfy lettering, and then we don't bother on the other side because it's too much effort. Look, I respect it. As I mentioned, I did not expect anyone to ever see this journal, so it makes sense to me that I would do stuff like that, you know? Lots of gold going on for Christmas. That does make sense. Oh, I've even got like a gold marker by the looks of that. I bet I expected it to be way more metallic than it was. We're almost at the end here. We're still calling it good habits, apparently. Not keeping up with the gratitude log. Do you know what, past Erin? I agree. December, really busy, really difficult. I have a post-it here, right meow. I feel like I must have moved this with me. So maybe I used my 2 ribbon bookmarks to keep track of things that I had to turn back to a lot, and then I would put right meow on the page that I was currently operating on. As the name suggests, right meow, this is where I am. Empty page, but I've got December 24 to 31 in the top corner. These are the perforated pages. If you've never had a Leuchtturm 1917 notebook before, the last handful of pages in the journal are perforated so that you can rip them out and use them in rip out journal ways. If you've ever ripped a page out of a notebook, you know what sort of purposes that might be for. Interesting that I haven't used this one, but I've used some after. I guess I expected that to be a weekly, but who's doing anything between the 24th and the 31st of December? Hopefully not you, because everyone should take some time off. I do dance things during that period now, but still, you know. I've got some info for my next journal, like things that are going on in January, February of the next one, so that I could move that into a future log, I presume. And then look, pen tests and a packing list and writing my name in katakana, apparently. Testing pens to layer with other pens. That's pretty nifty of me. Love that. Oh, I have ripped out a page. I wonder where that one ended up. More pen testing. We're on page 249. Gosh, you get a lot of pages in these things. And that's the end. Is there anything in the pocket? Oh, there is. There's the Leuchtturm stuff. I could label some of my other journals with that. I keep them on a shelf up here. There she is. That's my 2017, 2018 journal. Start to finish. I hope it just gave you some context for, like, we all have to start somewhere. And if you are new to bullet journaling and you're comparing your layouts to mine, you're doing it wrong, because I have practiced every single month since September 2017. I actually haven't missed setting up a month in my journal since September 2017. So I have had so many months of practice. Shall we work out exactly how many? How many months between September 2017 and now? It says 82 months. Can that be right? Can that be right? So look, I've done many months of practice, okay? Having said that, I set one up for every one of those months. I didn't necessarily use it for that month, but I did set it up. If you want to know how that works, you can check out my flip through of my most recent completed journal up here or in the description down below, because I just recently finished a journal and I flipped through it, and a lot of that stuff, I was in a bit of a slump, shall we say, and I was struggling a bit with actually getting in and using my journal, but I did set up every one of those months still. Besides, like, comparison is the thief of joy, I'm not really sure what other takeaways I want you to take away from this video, but I hope you got something out of that experience. I got something out of that experience. I've really enjoyed this little ride in the DeLorean back to 2017. I've finished many a journal since this one, but this one will always have a very special place in my heart. Let me know down below in the comments when you started bullet journaling, when you first picked it up. I'm very curious to see sort of like what the ratio is of those of us who found out about it and got excited and jumped in straight away like I did and was like, I don't care what month it is, I'm doing it now. And how many of us were like, I'm gonna wait for a new year, or I'm gonna wait for mid-year. In case you'd like to keep watching, I'll pop a link over here to that flip through that I just mentioned, which is my most recent journal that I've completed. So that's a good comparison if you want to see where I'm at now. And if you're someone like me who likes your journal to look pretty, otherwise you don't really want to use it, and you need some help with that, I have another video here about how to make your bullet journal more beautiful. I hope that helps.